What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So we got to break down the markets in this video. You guys know the deal. We're going to go over stocks, charts, the overall markets, what I'm doing in the markets. But before we do, make sure to get your free money from Moomoo. You get 10 stocks, each up to $2,500 with a $100 deposit. That's linked down below. And you could also get 6 stocks from Webull with any amount deposited, also linked down below. And with that being said, cheers, guys. Let's dive into the video. So it is currently about 4:30 p.m. on the East Coast, and the market's completely exploded heading into close. You guys can see the S&P 500 ended up closing up 1%, the Russell up 0.5%, the NASDAQ up 1.4% as the Dow, what did the Dow do? Up 0.5%, and the VIX went down 3% as gold went up actually over 1%. Pretty impressive day for gold. And yes, I do look surprised because I am surprised because gold has been freaking destroyed these past couple of weeks. And we had silver today, up 0.6%. So when I filmed my last video, if you guys remember, SPY was right around 396 to about 397, and we actually called out this double bottom right around 395, 396. So clearly that double bottom breakout ended up playing out. We took the highs out from roughly 1230 here on the East Coast. Those highs were 397.70. We hit past that point, and we got all the way to 399 in the aftermarket, it seems like, and now we're down to about 397.50. We have pulled back about 0.3, 0.4% from that aftermarket high to where we are now. And, the trend still looks good, even though we are seeing a bit of a pullback here after the bell. And Triple Q, look at this. This thing completely blew past the 12:30 p.m. high here. It hit 306 at 12:30, and we closed at 307, and we went all the way to about 307.65, and now after the bell, we are down to the mid 305s. We are down about 0.7% in the past roughly 20 minutes, and that could be due to, it is due to some earnings reports that we're going to talk about, really just one report in this video. So, yeah, that's what we saw. We got a nice run into the close, and overall on the 20-day chart, this breakout is clear on Triple Q and on SPY, and you guys can see on the 4-hour chart, we are still clearly on our ways, well on our ways to potentially getting the 415-ish, 420 on SPY and Triple Q towards roughly, let's see here on the 4-hour chart. We've talked about this ad nauseum, guys. This could probably get to about 315, meaning there could be 10, maybe even more dollars upside, 3-4%. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments about the markets. Very, very great day overall. And it seems like the green just keeps on coming in. The green just keeps on coming in. Now at this point, we've been on a green streak since the middle of June. You guys can see Triple Q hit 270 in the middle of June. Now it's about a month, a little over a month after that, and we're at 307, 306 on Triple Q. This thing's up 13% in about that month, a little bit over a month, and we have SPY up in that same time period from roughly 362. Now we're at excuse me, guys, 397. So this is up about 9%. So markets are ripping, and it doesn't seem like they're slowing down, at least based on what I'm seeing. And, of course, if you guys disagree with me, please let me know in the comments. Make sure to smash that like button if you are finding value. And if for some reason you haven't yet subscribed, I don't know what you're doing. If that's you, make sure to subscribe to the channel, guys. Hit that notification bell. And with that being said, let's talk about crypto. Last I checked, Bitcoin was coming back, and by coming back, I mean it sold off a little bit. We saw some profit taking, and now we're getting that buying pressure again. And this is what we talked about, I believe, yesterday. We saw Ethereum, and mind you, this is the Ethereum chart. We saw Ethereum consolidating at about 1580, 1600. Then we got a bit of a sell-off to the mid-1400s, simply some profit taking. And now look at that. Buyers came in, mid-1400s. Now we're pushing 1600 again. Ethereum's currently up over 4%. This will most likely take out the highs, at least by the looks of it right now. And by highs, I mean the highs from just recently, the past day or two being about 16-ish hundred. I think that there's a decent chance, by the way it's setting up, that point breaks out and we do go maybe to 17, 1750 in the short term on Ethereum. And for Bitcoin, let's pull that up. Bitcoin, let's see, that was at 23.2 last I checked. Now it's at 23.1. Okay, Bitcoin also saw a bit of a pullback from 24.2 down to about 22,000, so it lost a good $2,000 in value in just the past day and a half. And now it's starting to get some buying pressure in the mid 22s. We got bumped back over 23,000. So it looks like this wants to go and test the highs. We'll see if it breaks that 24,000, 24.2 high. If it does, obviously, the rebound will accelerate from there. Well, rather, it'll continue. Who knows if it gets the momentum accelerates or not? We shall see. But we could be going 25, 26,000. Definitely still in the cards. So yeah, that's some quick little thoughts on Bitcoin, Ethereum, what's going on here on the charts. And by the way, this platform right here is Webull. If you haven't gotten your 6 stocks from Webull with any amount deposited, what are you doing? Get your 6 stocks, link down below, or you can go to stocksurfest.com/Webull. So with that being said, let's dive over to ThinkOrSwim and go over some stocks. And if you guys watched my previous video today, I talked about Snapchat and how Snapchat could be very volatile, or it's known to be very volatile during earnings season, especially when they report, obviously, which today they ended up reporting. And look at the stock, guys. What did I say? It could go in either direction. Now we're selling off like freaking crazy. This stock's closed at $16.35. It went up over 5% on the day. And now after the bell, we're sitting not at $14, not at $13, but we're in the 12s, guys. Snapchat is in the freaking 12s. This thing is down $4 after the bell. It is down 26%, and it's in free fall mode. What else can I say? It's a falling knife. It's completely collapsing. We were slightly above the moving averages on the 4-hour chart. Now we're back under the moving averages. And look, we hit a fresh low. We hit a fresh low just in the aftermarket on this 4-hour chart. We just hit 1180. That took the lows out from a few months ago. This is a freaking disaster, guys. And let's just dive into these numbers. They did EPS of -2 cents versus -1 penny. So they missed on EPS. And they also missed on revenue, $1.11 billion versus $1.14 billion estimated. So double missed EPS, missed on revenue. And when it comes down to their guidance, well, they're not giving any guidance, not providing expectations for revenue or adjusted EBITDA for Q3. In other words, they don't want to shock the markets or spook the markets because it's not going to be looking good. Let's read between the lines here, guys. That is one of the reasons why, for sure, the stock is selling off here. Snapchat Q2 daily active users were up 18%, though. Not too bad year over year to 347 million versus the 344.1 million estimate. So that, I guess that's a pretty good piece of news right there. And, going back to what I mentioned, they're not cutting the guidance, but they're not providing guidance. That shows that, and they even said, forward-looking visibility is going to be incredibly challenging and unclear, and they don't know how Q2 headwinds are going to evolve through Q3. So, this is not the best report. They double missed. Sure, daily active users, not too bad, but they're clearly going through it right now in the short term in Q2. They're not providing guidance for Q3. Who knows how Q4 is going to be? So there's a lot of uncertainty right now. And when there's uncertainty, people that don't have the patience to hold on to Snapchat for the long haul, for a couple of years, and who knows, maybe people dumping now, they're better off because Snapchat could go bankrupt. Who knows? Maybe they do make the the better decision for selling off now. But people that are getting shook out right now, they don't have the patience to wait through the uncertainty and get to the other side, which that's fine. I don't blame them. That's fine. It's short-term money maybe. They want to take that money out, put it into something else, or they want to tax loss harvest, whatever. There's a lot of things that are could be happening, but people are just getting out. They're like, I'm not waiting through this uncertainty. I'm out. And Snapchat, it's just completely cratering. And I mentioned this in the earlier video today. This stock is known to be very volatile during earnings. Last report, for Pete's sake, guys, look at, well, not the last one, the one before it. Snapchat went from $25 to $40 in a day. I mean, if it could go one way, if it goes one way, it could work in the reverse as well. Keep that in mind. So yeah, Snapchat getting obliterated right now. Let me know your thoughts if you own Snapchat in the comments. I do. I mean, I've been down on Snapchat for a while. Obviously, this drop makes it even worse. So yeah, I'm down big time on Snapchat. Sam here, Boston Beer Company, they also reported, and they also double missed, guys. A lot of these companies reporting these days, the earnings are not looking good. I wonder why. I freaking wonder why, right? EPS came in at $4.31 versus $5.35 estimated on revenue of $616.2 million versus $629.32 million estimated. So double miss for Boston Beer Company, and the stock's getting killed. It closed at $3.37, barely up on the day, and now it is at $3.07. It is down $30 after the bell, which is about 10-11%. And if you're looking at this company from the long term, you're probably jumping up and down, cheering right now because you want it at cheaper levels. No doubt. I mean, yeah, this is great for you, but technically speaking, this is not good. I mean, it's clearly downtrending. Maybe it's a good short opportunity. I don't know. But as a trade for, looking at it from a bullish perspective, I wouldn't touch this thing unless it cracked the mid 300s. But it all comes down to what perspective you're looking at it from. And I actually used to own this stock. I owned it. I mentioned this above $400. I sold it for a little profit. And I might even consider getting back into it now if it gets under 300. I'm going to really consider it because this business, I think it's pretty decent. Last I checked, and it's been a couple of months, maybe even a year now since I've looked at the financials. The financials weren't that bad. I got to double check though. I don't want to just say that and it be BS. I got to double check. So maybe I'll even do a video on it. Maybe I'll do a video on, a couple undervalued stocks that I'm looking at, and hint, hint, this is one of them that I have to do more homework on. And when I do more homework on them, look at the numbers, I'll make that video. Never mind, guys. We'll see. Make sure to subscribe. I'm just rambling mumbo jumbo right now. Let's get into the next one, which is Capital One. A lot of you guys probably use Capital One, myself included. I have a couple of Capital One credit cards. They ended up reporting earnings just now as well. And guess what? They double missed. I mean, Jesus, guys. They did $4.96 versus $5.09 estimated, so they missed EPS, and they missed revenue, 8.20 versus 8.29 billion estimated. So double miss after double miss after double miss. This stuff is crazy. And just like, what's it called? Boston Beer Company, the previous stock, this one's also in a downtrend. We tried breaking out earlier today, yesterday, but we got rejected by the 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart. Clear as day, this is resistance. So I'm not even going to touch the stock, guys. And sure, it could be a value. And to be honest, I have not dove into this one at all. Boston Beer Company, I have dabbled. I have to refresh on the, refresh my, outlook on the financial statements. I will do that. But for this one, I haven't even looked at the financial statements. So I have to do that. But who knows? It might be a value, Capital One. But as a trade, it's clearly in a downtrend. If anything, I would short it at this point, based on the trend. And I always say on my YouTube videos, guys, do not fight the trend. So I'm going to put an alert at $116. Mark is at or above. If it starts reversing, all right, maybe we could ride that breakout, but we're not anywhere near that. Same thing with Boston Beer Company if you're looking at it from a trading perspective, which is why I put my alert for that one at $350. So we had some other earnings this morning, guys. We had American Airlines. They did not do well. Guess what? They didn't double miss. They missed EPS, but they beat revenue. 76 cents versus 77 cents estimated on EPS. They missed that. Revenue $13.42 billion versus $13.41. So pretty much in line on revenue, barely beating there, but they beat. and the stock sold off 7.5%. You guys can see this might be one where potentially here, as long as we hold the uptrending channel, which as of now we are, maybe buy or step in right around $13.75, $14 where we are now, and maybe we can ride this thing back up towards $15, $15.30. Maybe to the mid-15s. That's what I'm looking at here for American Airlines in the short term. We also had Domino's Pizza report, and they did the same as AAL. They missed EPS, but they beat revenue. EPS came in at $2.82 versus $2.88 estimated, and revenue came in at $1.06 billion versus $1.05 billion estimated. So we have a clear inverse head and shoulders on Domino's Pizza. The stock went down a little bit today, but not enough to break the trend. It only went down 1.3%. We're still well above the 50 and the 180 SMAs. We have the golden cross here on the 4-hour chart. So I think this still looks pretty good. In fact, this might end up being a dip buy. We shall see what happens in the low 400s, high 390s. We might be getting some buying pressure here on Domino's Pizza. We also had CrowdStrike today, CRWD. This one went up 2.5%, clearly holding the uptrend here. This might be going to the top of the channel, 200, 205. This looks very similar to Palantir. If you guys remember, I called this one out. Palantir had another good day today, 3.7%. This closed above 1035, 1040. That was the high from the beginning of this month of July. This might be going towards $11, maybe even higher. So you guys got to watch Palantir and CrowdStrike. Those two charts look very, very similar. And we have JD, the last one. We have an ascending triangle here on JD, and I've been calling this out a lot lately. Well, not a lot lately, but I called it out a couple of weeks ago. It didn't play out. But now it looks like we're getting back to the top to test the resistance, being about $68. We're currently at 64. The stock went up over 2% on the day. So I think JD could have more upside to 67, 68. And if that point breaks, ascending triangle plays out, watch out above, guys. So with that being said, I guess that's it for the video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to subscribe. I check my analytics, guys, and a lot of you do not subscribe. If that's you, hit that subscribe button. Do not forget to also check out my Patreon if you're interested. That's linked down below. And don't forget to get your 10 stocks from Moo with a $100 deposit and your 6 stocks from Webull with any amount deposited. All those links are down below, and they help me out, guys, a bunch with the channel. And just know if you're using those links, it helps out the channel, and I do appreciate you guys as always. So with that being said, cheers. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.